I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing new trailers, more O's content, and way late game X8 toys. But before all that, Buster, how the heck you doing?
Bad. If you can't tell, I am not in my usual location. I don't want to get into it, but
Yeah,
I don't like today. Today's
Yeah.
been really bad.
Yeah, Buster's coming to us not live via not satellite, so y'all
Yeah.
better be grateful. Can we get some B's in the chat for Buster right now?
Yeah. Be in the chat. Yeah, please. Be in the comments. But you should
Yeah.
comment, because it helps
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, a little known fact to people who aren't YouTubers, and even most people who are YouTubers, comments are actually the thing that help boost you in the algorithm the most. YouTube cares about comments, likes, views, subscriptions in that order. So
Mm-hmm.
fucking comment even if your shit is completely asinine, predictable, just you giving your thoughts on the things we talk about, or telling me I'm a dumbass for one of my takes. Fucking comments are appreciated. So comment.
Yeah.
But other things you should do, help us out and help us out in the algorithm however you can. Subscribe to Modular Media, get all of the episodes of Twit and whatnot as they come out. Be sure to like and whatnot. If you're listening on a podcasting platform, please follow us there to help us out on that algorithm. For updates on the show and when and where it's happening, go and follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media and join the subreddit just because fuck it. I don't know, subreddit exists. It's r/modular media. But that's it. Let's go ahead and get into the news because there's quite a bit of news this week, and it's all fairly interesting. First off, there's a new trailer for Zenkaiger. I almost said Zenkaiger. Zenkaiger versus Kiramager versus Sempaiger, and it's a lot of stuff we already knew was coming. But one thing I've been very hopeful for finally got confirmed: Zox and Marvelous are going to come face to face. It looks like they're going to have a little fight. That was all I wanted out of this movie, so the rest of this movie could be complete dog shit, and I don't care. I'm getting what I've wanted for literally a year and a half now.
Yeah, the Zenkaiger redemption arc.
Oh, man.
Zenkaiger's still good. It's just, man, that was a little disappointing.
Yeah. But no.
Also, Mega Red.
Yeah, Mega Red. Mega Red's in this. We get a little bit of footage of Lupin Red doing some shit. Stuff's happening in this. It looks like it's going to be a movie.
Yeah, a fun one.
Speaking of movies, or specials rather, Kamen Rider O's 10th anniversary special, Kamen Rider Birth X Birth secret episode has been announced. This is going to be a special for the Toei Tokusatsu fan club. The article reads, Toei is not done counting the medals just yet. A special episode of Kamen Rider O's has been announced titled Kamen Rider Birth X Birth secret episode. As the title suggests, this episode will focus on Kamen Rider Birth and the creation of his unique new form, Birth X. Actor Asai Kijima will return once again as Kamen Rider Birth, and actress Riho Takada will reprise her role as Hina Izumi. But this time, Hina returns to take up the O's driver. The episode will be released on the Toei Tokusatsu fan club site in summer of this year. I'm pretty fucking excited for this because regular listeners of the show will know I was not a fan of the O's 10th anniversary movie, and I said if that's where we're leaving these characters, this movie is not canon to me. So I'm glad it looks like we're getting more O's content that is going to continue the story and hopefully maybe fix some things I didn't like about that movie.
And I'm just excited because Birth, baby, Birth's one of my favorite writers, both Births. Yeah. So a Birth focus thing is like very exciting.
And I think we both agreed that like he was one of the weakest elements of that movie, and I think this is kind of the explanation for why they're giving him his own thing.
Yeah, it's fairly like as you said in the article, they're gonna finally explain what the hell Birth X is.
Yeah, because it's literally just there for one scene in the movie, and it feels like it's just to sell a new toy.
Yeah, it's a good toy, but still feels a bit weird.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that, and we'll probably discuss it whenever it gets subbed. But moving on to yikes, I'm going to pull my collar news. Yutaka Kobayashi has been removed from the idol group Boys and Men, because it's spelled in all caps. I have to say it like that. Fortune Entertainment have announced the departure of Yutaka Kobayashi.
Kobayashi.
Kobayashi, sorry. from idol group Boys and Men following a recent shoplifting incident. On October 3rd, 2021, Yutaka Kobayashi was caught shoplifting around 9,000 yen or $90 worth of cosmetic products from a store in Fukuoka. Due to this incident, on April 8th of this year, his talent agency Fortune Entertainment announced that Kobayashi would be leaving the idol group Boys and Men. Kobayashi has been a member of Boys and Men since their debut in 2010. They released this statement. It has been revealed that Yutaka Kobayashi, who belongs to our company, has committed a serious breach of contract. We have determined that it is impossible to maintain the contractual relationship due to a severe breach of trust. And today, April 8th, 2022, we inform you that we have canceled the management contract with Yutaka Kobayashi. We apologize for the very urgent report. Yutaka Kobayashi committed a shoplifting case today. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused to the victims. And for those of you who don't know, Yutaka Kobayashi is best known to tokusatsu fans for his acting role as Kumon Kaito, aka Kamen Rider Baron in Kamen Rider Gaim. So I don't remember if we covered the original story about this, but yeah. Dude was caught shoplifting last year, and basically this is the corrective action that's being taken in that. Where he's probably gonna be a court case over all of this. But for now, he's basically not got an agency at all, which means he probably won't be acting at any point in the near future. Which kind of sucks because I tend to give Toku actors the benefit of the doubt with this kind of stuff until it's like actively proven that they were being malicious, because dude was shoplifting cosmetics. He's an actor in an idol group, and it's in an industry and a side of the industry where it's not really known for having great pay. So likely he was stealing that stuff because he needed it for work and couldn't afford it.
I mean, like, I think I do agree he should get, like, reprimanded, but, like, here's the thing, this reaction was too extreme. It's just because it's like, you banned him over shoplifting, but we have all these other guys who do, like, all this pedophile and, like, racist shit, and they get to go free.
Let's,
Hollywood, am I right?
Yeah, and let's not forget what, fucking, my boy Tetsu Kurata has been up to over the last few years, and he's still not gotten any form of slap on the wrist.
Yeah, it's just a whole mess. I mean, it's just not mess, but like, I don't really hold them against him. Sometimes they make mistakes or bad choices, and just I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really see it.
He seems like a very nice guy in most of the interviews I've seen with him.
Yeah, he just did like a Kamen Rider like tour, like an expo. Like he was the head guy actor. They got to like lead this like touring of like a Kamen Rider exhibition. So,
hopefully eventually things work out well for him. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and move on to kind of a neat little bit of history finally being uncovered, because for years everybody has kind of wondered what the heck was up with the doubles for Jason, Zach, and Trini in the sort of mid area of MMPR Season 2. And finally, thanks to a Ranger board member, Ranger Retro Center in an account that doesn't seem to exist anymore on Twitter, we have found the original casting call sheet for some of those episodes, which reveals the actors who did the stand-ins for them during that part of the season. So they were David Chilote, I want to say, as Jason, Armin Livingston as Zach, and Karen Coe as Trini. Which, it's not the biggest information bomb in the world, but it's still like a neat little bit of Power Rangers history that's been uncovered. And at the very least, hey, if we find these people and they're alive and well, we've got more guests to go to every fucking convention that cares about Power Rangers.
All two of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's neat. That's all I got.
Yeah. Next up, another kind of yikes thing we got to go over real quick. Toei to take corrective action regarding work practices. So I believe we did cover this when it originally
Yeah,
happened.
we did. It was
Um,
like the big thing of that episode.
yeah, but basically, the anonymous employee who filed a lawsuit against Toei has held a press conference this week to discuss the company's work practices. The Chowo Labor Standards Inspection Office has recommended correction action to Toei Company for working its employees beyond the legal limit and not paying a proper wage for their overtime. The anonymous female employee in her 20s, currently on leave, reported her circumstances to Shogo Support Union in fall last year. This past week, she held a press conference in Tokyo on April 14th to go over the situation. She said, Kamen Rider is a hero of justice. I don't think it's righteous to work in such a place, dying for the love of the work, and to have rampant work practices that do not comply with the Labor Standards Act. I wondered whether it was right to indict, I think it's meant to be indict, but it's translated as indict them for destroying the dreams of a television show aimed towards children. But I hope that people who have been hurt in the same industry will feel more comfortable speaking out. Toei acknowledged the decision for corrective action and already has plans to implement them. They responded, with regard to overtime hours and other issues that was brought up by the anonymous employee, we have received a decision from the Labor Standards Inspection Office to which the said employee filed a complaint. We are taking steps based on that decision with regard to corrective action, recommendation regarding the employee, and a report on remediation has already been submitted. So basically, this thing that had the whole community in an uproar back when it happened, which, if you don't know, it basically came out that people were working ridiculous hours behind the scenes of Revised crew wise. And one woman in particular, I believe the woman who submitted this report said that she had been sexually harassed by male coworkers. The government stepped in and said, Toei, what the fuck is going on here? You're going to get a big old slap on the wrist, which I'm quite happy about. I believe back when we originally talked about this, we said it was really upsetting. It's something we've always kind of known, that there's shady things happening behind the scenes of these shows with how rigorous the production is, but we hadn't really been confronted with it on that level in a long time. So to see the proper response happening here, I think is really nice.
Yeah, I hope this does like they legit like change up, and it's like people are saying, oh, they can't change their Toei. Like I feel like we need to confront it. We need to speak out about the change, or like and like Japanese fans are speaking about the change, and like the employees are speaking about the change, and that's gonna cause change. Like if you do nothing, if you just be like cynical, like oh well, I guess it's just gonna be the way it always is, then nothing's gonna change. You know?
Yeah, like for as much as like I will constantly say to people like don't be surprised, this is the way it's always been, and yeah, it sucks. I don't say that to be like don't say anything about it. I'm saying like stop acting like you're surprised about this. Say like, "Hey, this has been going on for a long time. What the fuck? Why haven't we fixed this yet?"
Yeah, like be progressive is what I'm trying to say. Like we gotta like hopefully they can get better hours. Maybe don't release an episode every week. I mean, they gotta have to, but maybe like slow down on like lessen the order of episodes and have like a small hiatus in between shows. Maybe
Or
that could
have
fix.
better production blocks in general. Don't just
Yeah,
take breaks when Golf Gum strikes.
yeah. I think that's more. I think that's less production and more airing breaks. But like either
Yeah.
way, um,
But
yeah.
so that's all the yikes news for this week. We're gonna wrap up with two kind of hype stories. The first of which being that we have a new teaser trailer for Shin Ultraman. I believe this is
And I
the
didn't watch because I want to go into the movie spoiler free.
yeah. Even though we still don't have any U.S. release for this movie, I really want them to just say like, "Yo, Fathom Events, same day, one night only. Buy your tickets here," and I'll fucking
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
But
same. I'll drive an hour. Like I'll annoy people to drive me an hour to go there.
because like this fucking trailer, man. I know you didn't watch it, but like there's a moment in this trailer where like the main theme of the movie hits. And it's like a very upbeat insert song, and it hits at the same time they show a shot of Ultraman flying and then shooting his laser beam. And I literally got those like little kids superhero time.
Nice.
So like I am fully hyped for this movie on a level that I haven't been for a superhero movie in quite a while. Because well, there's that kind of hype superhero-ness about it. There's also just the fact that like a lot of this movie looks like it's just Anno expounding on the kind of stuff he was doing with Shin Godzilla, and Shin Godzilla is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm very much excited for that, and just the fact alone that Anno could evoke that hype superhero emotion in me. What when the last time I watched something he made, because I'm still like on the first couple episodes of Evangelion, I need to watch the rest of the series. When I saw Shin Godzilla, the utter like near cosmic horror I felt during that scene where Godzilla's shooting the atomic breath and the music is getting really intense. Like that was the last major emotion he evoked from me. So to go from that to this really shows the range Anno has as a director and a creator. So I'm so excited to see what this movie's about, man. And I really hope there will be a way to watch it in theaters, or at least a way for us to watch it at home relatively soon.
Yeah, very excited. Looks pretty. I want it now. Give it, give it, give it.
And finally this week, we have a bit of a left field but kind of awesome announcement, which is just that like 2 concept designs for Kamen Rider X8 toys that never got properly made. I believe there was a candy toy release of one of them, and one of them was only ever made as like an acrylic keychain. We are getting DX Mighty Novel X and Bang Bang Tank Gashats released through Premium Bandai. And that's just super awesome that like this many years on from X8, they're still putting out new toys for it. Especially because it doesn't seem like there's any media to go along with these. Like I'm not expecting Emu and Taiga to show up in the current Gem special that's going on, but yeah, it's one of those things that really just shows the popularity and superiority of really the toy design of X8, with them being able to constantly add to it. Although that does make me dread when they eventually do the CSM X8 releases.
Yeah, in like 20 years from now. Yeah, but yeah, these look super cool. I know, like, I follow one particular Twitter user who's been begging for Bang Bang Tank forever. So it's like everyone was so excited to see like Bang Bang Tank finally get released. So it's like, yay! It happened.
And I'm not a huge fan of the colors, but basic design wise, I do like the look of Bang Bang Tank in the test render they have here.
Yeah, also like Mighty Novel X, that's actually like that looks like an idea I had for a Kamen Rider called Kamen Rider Paint like a while ago. So
Oh,
neat.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, pretty solid news this week. Definitely a lot going on in the world of Tokusatsu. But now it's time to move into new releases. And I forgot to ask you before we started recording, but Buster, did you watch that thing that you enjoy, but I haven't gotten into yet?
I did not. Didn't even know it got subbed, to be honest.
I sent you the subs.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, uh, I'll catch up like next week, but like
it's all right.
been an
We'll
update.
skip over it for now.
Yeah, like just saying, Watchdog Enders. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, just go to revise.
Yeah, Kamen Rider Revise, episode 31, Guided by an Illusion: The Consequences of Dreaming.
I feel pretty much the same way I did about last episode when it comes to this one. It's like this isn't bad, but it feels below this show's pay grade, and everything they do with Saburo is not bad, but not as exciting as I think they think it is.
Yeah, like there wasn't really even a reason that he had to be a fictionalized version of himself. Like, why? Like, was it just to have like it's that thing's still so confusing. And I do like the stuff with Iki and people.
Yeah. I'll just take over for a second and say, like, the most exciting moment of the episode for me was when we find out when Saburo admits that he's the one that created the dead man, because I was like, hey, fucking called it. But that even then, it was just that little moment, and the rest of it, because like this should be a fairly big episode for the show, where like Iki finally figures out the thing we've all known about him disappearing from the pictures, and we find out what that actually means, and it doesn't have like the same punch and impact as some of the other reveals in the show. Like when we found out that him and his siblings are descendants of Gifu. This is
Yeah,
it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's a thing. I don't think they'll actually do that at the end of the show, but whatever.
it could be like a threat at the end of the show where it's like this. We have to stop this from happening. We have to
Yeah.
stop like Iki from being separated from the family. But and honestly, this episode, these two parters really would have worked better like in the first quarter of Revice, in my opinion.
Yeah, like if
Cause
this was episode 15 and 16, it'd be like, okay, but episode 30 and 31 is like, what are you doing?
yeah, it really maybe they had this like drafted out, but they just didn't have the time to get like Saburo like in the studio or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because like for all our slagging of him, he is popular in Japan right now, so he's probably got a big busy schedule.
Yeah, I mean he's voicing Knuckles in the Japanese dub of Sonic 2, so it's like he gets like frequent voiceover work, so you
You
know.
know, for as much as I dislike him, I actually think that's really good casting.
Uh,
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know Japanese voice actors super well, so maybe there's somebody out there that's like better suited to it than him, but like yeah, his voice is just kind of what I would think of as a good voice for Japanese Knuckles.
I really don't get it because if I don't know, they have very different personalities, but then again, like I've seen other roles Sabaru has done in the other anime, so you know, maybe he has
Mhm.
range. We'll see. What else? What else? Yeah, this was okay. This is a fine episode. Like they're just I do like the end and like the little flashback segments, but it really feels like this should have been done a bit earlier. But like
Mhm.
that's really a nitpick. It's still like a fine. It's better than last week because Sabaru doesn't really act like a jerk as much, even though he's still Sabaru. Um,
Also, there was
uh,
some interesting stuff where um I think I might have been right. I think we're gonna get more George as Demons content because he seemed pretty tempted by the driver in that one scene.
yeah, like that was really a great scene because it's like what's gonna happen with George because it's like there's actual consequences for him when transforming. So it's like, ooh, that wasn't just a throwaway thing, you
Mhm.
know? And it's like,
Yeah.
will George have a last stand? Will this be his consequences for wanting to be the Kamen Rider he's always wanted to do? You know, it's very interesting.
That would be great because George has mostly been like comedic relief slash tech support. So if he got like a proper character arc, I'd be super down for that.
Yeah, I mean, he already is kind of getting some character arc with his brother, so not brother, father.
Mhm.
Anything else? Yeah, that was a fine Revice episode.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, hopefully next week we'll get back to like, ooh, I like this. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just these last like couple Revice has just been like, yeah, it's kind of made the little flaws of the show more evident, but it's still like a good show. You know.
Yeah, and I mean to your point, or rather your postulation, the preview for next week does look really good.
Yeah, I very like that has a potential to be a really good story. So, yeah. Should I move on to the next episode?
Sure.
Yay! Dawn Brothers episode 7, A Class of Teachers. This was really cute. This was like a nice a bit of a break for the more dramatic stuff, but still very fun.
This didn't feel quite on par as the last couple episodes, but it felt good in like that standard Sentai plot of the week way.
Yeah. I
Like
will say, like, I like for the CGI bros, they got like a lot of screen time this episode, and it's like I could really tell they were mocapped in
mhm.
a lot. Like really, like ever since I learned about the technology they used to use the CGI Dawn Brothers, it's like, oh, I can totally tell why they're clipping a bit. So you
Yeah,
know,
and there is one shot though where they're showing the whole team from behind, and you can see they're using the physical suit for the CGI boy, the physical suits for the CGI boys, and it looks fairly good. I
yeah.
wish we got a better look at those more often, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Um,
and I will say, even if we do dislike even if the CGI isn't the greatest, the character acting, like the little like suit acting, for lack of a better word, is still really good with them. I'd say. Like, you could really tell that like Kiji and Inu brothers mannerisms from their like how they move and stuff. That's
Yeah.
like
And they're
yeah,
not even really the stars of this episode. This is much more focused on the practical free, I'll call them.
yeah.
And it's not really a whole lot of new stuff. We don't learn a whole lot about their characters this episode, but there's just some good expounding on what we know about them so far.
Yeah, very very good moments of Blue. He was probably my favorite part of the episode. Like, I feels like I finally got a good read on his character. Like,
Yeah. He is Zen to a fault.
yeah, and that I'm very interested to see how kind of that like maybe he'll learn that he has to like confront the real world. So that's very interesting. And that storyline I just pitched is very Inui like, so that's probably what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. And just more of Momo Itaro basically being Sakamoto from Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto.
Yeah, but it's like he's not like I wouldn't call him a Gary Stu because he still has flaws to overcome and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
But it's really interesting because his flaws are like deriven from his Gary Stu-ness, where it's like he's so good at everything that it causes problems for him. Like I forget what exactly he said that made me think that this week, but he had another line kind of like last week where he says, I'm good at everything, so I have no specialty, and that kind of sucks.
yeah, like it's very like it's very much a deconstruction of like the over hyper focused reds some Sentai has had. So
Yeah.
that's very interesting. While still being like probably the best over focused like hyper red we've gotten.
Oh yeah,
Uh
I take this guy over. Not that I really dislike those characters like some people do, but I take this guy over Lucky and King any day.
yeah, like and we're just 8 episodes, like now 7 episodes in, so it's like, oh, what's he gonna do like later on when like he's first like when you get even more Kinoer moments, dare I say,
Hmm.
like when things start ramping up.
Also,
Um,
he turned into Juo Eagle this episode, so how can I not give him
I think
props?
he turns into it next episode, or
Oh yeah, that's right. That was in the preview. Sorry, but still,
yeah,
Juo Eagle, top tier red, top tier suit.
yeah, very excited to see all those changes next week. But yeah, fun episode. Yeah. Although, like, I will say, like, I feel like if people are wondering, like, why the CGI like is so completely different in quality between the practical suits and the mecha suits, this isn't confirmed, but this is what I think. So it's like the mecha suits done in a studio with like padding, so there's more of a control over the CGI suit.
Mhm.
But like they're outside when they do the Inu and Kiji brother suits, so like there's a
It's
bit more like clipping.
it's probably also two different departments doing that.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, although they probably still use like similar motion capture technology. It's just one
Mhm.
is outside and the other's inside.
Yeah. Um, But that is it for new releases. And Buster, I don't think you got any toys or did any old stuff this week. So should I just ramble about Black for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic while you do that.
All right. I watched three more episodes of Kamen Rider Black, 15, 16, and 17. I remember 15 being very good, but I don't remember much about it. 16, on the other hand, I think is one of the best episodes of the show so far because it's an episode that introduces Kotaro's Taki. And for those of you who don't know, Taki is another character kind of like Tachibana, where he was a big character in the original show who was kind of like a confidant of Rider 1 and 2. And because of that, every once in a while there will be a new Taki character that's kind of a throwback to the original one. And this is very much that, where it's a whole episode about like Kotaro's working a case and he starts fighting this guy who he thinks is a Golgam agent, and he finds out like, oh no, this guy works for Interpol and he's kind of working the same case. And also used to know my brother. Oh sweet, we should team up and work together on this thing. And it's really nice and wholesome, especially the narration at the end drives it home where it's like, finally, after fighting alone for so long, Minami Kotaro has an ally he can believe in. Even though this guy's got to go back to America now, it's still like, yeah, there's somebody out there like me fighting for justice, and that makes me feel good. And I was like, yeah, good for you, Kotaro. Um, and then episode 17, I really thought was going to be the introduction of Shadow Moon, like the way they were playing it. I was like, oh, finally, yes, by the end of this episode, we're going to get Shadow Moon. And instead, it's just kind of like meandering around that, because the whole plot of the episode is they go, oh shit, we undercooked Shadow Moon. We gotta get some more energy for him, and we need people who are his blood relative, and we kind of killed his dad, so we gotta kidnap his sister. And so they do that via like weird mind control manipulation shit that doesn't quite track and makes a lot of the characters look like idiots. And Kotaro's got to track her down and save her. Bit of a lackluster episode, but there was one great moment where Kotaro is asking some people if they've seen his adoptive sister while he's looking for her, and in the background there's just a kid on like a Power Wheels of Battle Hopper, and I'm like, that's probably an actual toy that was out back then, and that looks sick as hell. I'd have loved that as a kid. I'll post an image of it in the chat. Look at that shit, Buster.
Yay, that's great. Yeah, I need to catch up on Black, but like I gotta catch up on the other show first.
Yeah, that's fine. Overall, decent crop of Black episodes, and I look forward to watching more next week, as I always do. But for now, I think that's everything we have to talk about this week. So, Buster, where can people find you on the internet if they would like to?
Sup, I'm Buster Corp. I do video essays on the internet. I don't have a video this week because I'm kind of working on a bigger one. But hey, go check out my YouTube channel anyway for my backlog. And also, I'm at Twitter at BusterBully3 if you want to see me tweet.
And I am the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos when I feel like it. If you want to watch those, I got a lot of them. They're up at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter, tweeting and twatting about all kinds of things at the Vacuuminator, and I'm on Instagram posting lots of stuff. It's at _Vacuuminator. But folks, that is gonna do it for this week in Tokusatsu. I think we'll see you back here next week to talk about whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.